It's brought to you by Nissan.
I can't find Staples. Oh. Never mind.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay. So, how do you feel about us missing prom and sport events and graduation this lovely school year?
It sucks. I think I've cried about it a lot, to be honest.
You too?
Yeah, that's what I've cried about. Like I've cried at least like once a week about it. Like it really sucks. Like that's a huge part of our senior experience, especially graduating.
Mhm.
Like that's what we worked 4 years for, and they're like, "Here's a virtual graduation." I'm
Well-
like, anyways, it sucks. That's it.
You're
This
like-
is the worst. It sucks.
Well, technically, we didn't really have a virtual graduation. It was more like we were told that we were taking pictures, and they really didn't tell us that we were walking that day.
That pissed me off.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you wish that your family would have gone instead
Yeah.
of just your dad?
But they didn't. Maybe I'm just dumb. You know, like it might have just been me because some people knew that we were walking, but like you didn't know and Brenda didn't know. And it was like, that's all I have. But
Yeah.
it was like, I didn't know we were walking, and it kind of pissed me off because I would have like prepared better, I guess, if I knew I was walking. So.
Well, my final question would be, how has distant learning have been affecting your life and your relationship with your peers and, yeah, your family and peers?
I don't think distance learning has had like an input on my like family or my friends. Or my friendships. But it would be nice if I could see my friends, cause I'm someone that like constantly needs like some kind of like friendly support,
Yeah.
or I need to be surrounded by people, or else I get like really lonely and I don't realize that, and so it kind of sucks that I have to like do all of it kind of by myself, you know, like have to go through it by myself. I didn't really have a lot of friends in my classes, but it was still like I still had at least like one person that I could be like, hey, I don't get this, could you explain it to me? And now I don't have that at all, because it's easier to talk to them in class and to like reach out to them, you know, and text them and be like, hey, can you help me with this? Because then I feel burdensome.
Mm-hmm.
So
then how would you say, I guess really not my last question, but how would you say that, how has distant learning been like going on? Like, how have you been doing?
in the first week that we started, I did really good. I did real good. I woke up, I didn't wake up early, but I woke up, I did my work, and then I was done, and I didn't get a lot of work, which is nice. And so since we were only allowed to get like a certain amount of work from every class. But then after like during spring break, I was like, oh nice, I don't have to do any work, you know. But then after that, I got too comfortable, and then because I was like alone all the time, and because I just was like so lazy, I guess, and like depressed, I didn't participate at all, like not even once in any of my classes until like last week. And I emailed all of my teachers and I was like, hey, this has kind of been sucking for me, because I didn't think distance learning would be bad for me, but then I realized, like, even though I'm really shy, I actually do rely a lot on like that being able to like just be in a classroom,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like helps me learn better.
And it's also like sometimes when you have a question but you don't want to ask it, someone else has that question and they can ask it for you. So it helps better. I understand that. So you could say this whole thing has been affecting your mental health, and it's something that obviously teachers and other staff members didn't really see coming.
Yeah, I feel like it. And they also like I don't want to like talk bad about the school, but like I feel like they didn't offer that kind of like support. Like they weren't like, we're here to support you until like 2 weeks ago. Because I remember Mr. Huderberg posted a video talking about like the new updated like grading system, about like how you could get an incomplete and stuff like that, and how like if you have stuff going on at home, how they'll like help you out and like they'll try to like work something out with you. But I feel like that would have taken a lot of stress off of a lot of students if they would have said that. And I know it's hard because they had to like talk it through, and at first we were supposed to go back to school and then we didn't. So I feel like it was just like I feel like that would have been a huge like stress load off of a lot of students if they had communicated that way before. But I mean, at least they communicated it at some point.
That's true, because this is like kind of everywhere now, but it's mostly teens right now that have a job, that are working in grocery stores. There are some that are working in retirement homes, and teenagers became essential workers. So to think that they couldn't even consider the fact that some of them could have been busy was a little surprising.
Yeah, some of them are probably even working like full-time right now.
Exactly, yeah. Because I know a few students that go to Wahai, and they work from like morning shift to like closing. And where does that give time for homework? And they still expect, I mean, I get it, the work that we've been getting isn't a lot, but it's still difficult working at full time.
But it's also like every teacher is only allowed to give us 30 minutes of work a day. But then if you add that up, like if you have 6 or 7 classes, it's like what, 30 an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, like 3.5 hours of homework. And usually like maybe the teacher sees it as 30 minutes of homework, but maybe for other students it's like an hour of homework. So then it's like, that's still a lot of homework every day. It's like, 3.5 hours, that's a lot of homework. Especially like if you're working all day and then you come back and you're like, ugh, you know, even if you come back early, it's still like you worked all morning and now you have to sit down and do work for 3 hours. Kind of sucks.
Well, anyways, it was good talking to you about this, and I'm really glad you answered my question. But yeah. Thanks.